Welcome to our Tech YouTube video channel. In today's video, we are going to talk about two different queries in Power BI. When creating Power BI report, did you ever wonder if you have to use import query or if you have to use direct query? If yes, in this video, I'm going to clear on your doubt in what situation we choose which option. Without further delay, we'll get into the concept. Before start building any report, you must understand what these options do, what does an import option do, and what does direct query options do. We'll take import option. What does an import option do? When you choose to use an import option in your project, in your Power BI report, you are creating a copy of the data source in your Power BI file. You're just taking a copy. Okay, so that the data in your data source, whether it is from Excel or SQL Server or like JSON, text format, whatever it may be, you are just taking the copy of the data and putting the data in your Power BI file and just start doing your visualization. You're just taking the copy, nothing else you do. Then what direct query do? Whereas when you want to go for direct query option, you are creating the connection to the data source. It's like a bridge. Based on the bridge, you are getting the data from the data source. The source should be anything like Azure SQL, Amazon Redshift, Google BigQuery, IBM Netezza, Impala, SAP HANA, dot dot dot. So many tools are available. These are clouds. So direct query is nothing but data connectivity model, okay, that just allows you to direct connection with live database. It does not load or copy data into your Power BI model because you are because data directly came from data source. While loading data, the BI screen look like this. So based on your need, you will pick the data, which query you need. See, if you're in your live Power BI, you'll go to get data. If you choose the survey, then it will show which format you want. Import format, you want to import your query, or you want to work on your direct query. Before selecting a query mode, we need to understand the limitations of each. Suppose if you want to select direct query or import, whatever it may be, but both has its own limitations, both pros and cons. Direct query. Direct query performs much slower than import mode because it is connected with live data, and every 15 minutes it is refreshing, and the data size should be more than 10 gig or 5 gig, so obviously it should be less. Direct query mode only supports single data source unless a composite model is being used. We'll forget about composite model, that is another topic. Here, if you try to connect your data with Amazon Redshift, then that is the only one data source you can able to access, not more than that. Direct query mode has some limitations related to Power Query. Okay, after connected to your query, you want to do some data cleansing task in your Power Query. Calculated tables are not supported with direct query mode. Okay, built-in date hierarchy is not supported. Calculated column and measure can be written, but all DAX functions cannot be used. You can use very minimal DAX functions, but not all the functions. The limited number of DAX functions are supported. It restricts us from using OOTB, that is time intelligence functions. Okay, time intelligence function is nothing but we are using last refresh date, end of the month, last year, start of the month. This kind of date function you cannot use if you don't have access in direct query. There is no need to, here one main advantage is there is no need to refresh data with direct query. It refreshes the data every 15 minutes. And the limitations of import. Import mode loads all the data in Power BI desktop. It will load all types of file. The performance is much faster than direct query mode, obviously, because it's just taking the copy of the data and creating the memory, and whatever the actions you do, it reflect in a quick way. It supports multiple data source. Yeah, you can. The another benefit using import option is you can fetch data from Excel, JSON, text. So you can combine the multiple data sources. But in direct query, it is not possible. There are no limitation of using DAX functions and ETL operations. You can you can perform all the DAX functions. With import mode, you can do 8 scheduled refresh in a day, can be said with Power BI Pro license. So these are the main limitations we must know before performing anything. Okay. In the last thing, before selecting the query mode, we need to understand. I'll tell you the route map for choosing the right one, whether it should be direct query or import query. So, like before proceeding, just ask a question with yourself: import mode or direct mode? What to choose? Just think about your project, what you're going to do. Ask a proactive questions. How frequently you are going to refresh your data? Let's say in my scenario, I refresh my BI once in a day. Then go for second question. In a day, how frequently you refresh your data? So in my case, most probably not more than 2 times. Wow. So in this situation, better I will go for import query option because I'm not refreshing my data more frequently and my data size is less than 1 GB. Then I'll go for import query. Just ask. So if these two questions are matched, you go for import mode and ask another two questions. If your data size is greater than 1 gig, or let's say 10 gig my data, and second question, I need fresh data. If then you should, because my both conditions are matched. My data size is more than 1 GB, and I need fresh data. I don't want to do refresh. I need fresh data. So my two conditions got matched. In this scenario, I should go for direct query with closing my eyes. So, but another reason for direct query is if it is 10 gig data, you cannot import. You can do import, but it is consuming half a day to import. So better we'll go for direct query. So these are the major difference between direct query and import query. I hope you will find the difference between both direct and import query. So thanks for watching.